Hello and welcome to this special session on your success alignment with Biofield Tuning. This is Elena Angel, and I have with me today Sandra Lee, a practitioner of Biofield Tuning and Human Design. Welcome, Sandra. So good to connect with you today.
Hi.
Hi. Let me give you a little bit of background. I had the pleasure of meeting Sandra a few months ago in pretty much a similar type of situation. I watched a session of Sandra's online on YouTube, and I was very impressed with this modality, biofield tuning. I do have a background in music. I've always been fascinated by sound, and sound healing is, for me, the future of energy healing, quite frankly. But anyway, so I was very partial already to the idea of some sound healing. And then when Sandra started demonstrating and working with her tuning forks, it was really fascinating, and I felt changes and shifts in my body. At one point, Sandra connected the Earth Star, and I could literally feel this kind of coming down. My body was shifting, my feeling was shifting. I thought, wow, okay, I love this. And I went on to have some sessions with Sandra, and now I'm quite a fan. So there we have it. Sandra, tell us a little bit about your background. How did you come to biofield tuning, and what's your experience with this special modality?
So I have been a massage therapist professionally for 28 years and doing energy work all throughout that time. But over the years, my experience of any sort of energetic healing modality was I didn't really feel like I was doing anything that had any lasting effect. And so I was really disappointed. This is like I wanted to believe that anything could be changed, healed with energy, because I believe that everything is energy. But I was really disappointed with what I felt like was my inability to actually cause any of that change energetically. So I really wasn't doing much energetically, tons of training, but wasn't ever actually using it. And so the only really energetic work I was doing was using tuning forks, not the tuning forks I use now, but a different kind of tuning forks to get energy moving through the body. Because working with energetic blocks and the movement and flow of energy through people's bodies is something I've been doing just naturally for many years. And so I found that tuning forks in general were helping me be effective in getting that energy moving. But I wasn't actually doing the energetic modality that went with those tuning forks. They were just a tool. I was also always working with the emotional content, the stresses in people's lives, and how that is stored in their bodies. So 28 years, dissatisfied with energy work, basically that point. And then last year, I got exposed to biofield tuning. And since I'd already been working with tuning forks before, I decided to jump into doing the biofield tuning training. And this modality is so natural for me. It is amazing how natural a fit it is with my existing abilities that I've developed over decades. So biofield tuning works with sound in the energy field. But what I most notice is how the sound affects the energy blocks and the flow of energy through people's bodies. What I've been working with for decades. And it is so effective. Compared with the other energetic modalities where I do stuff and notice pretty much nothing changing, I have noticed so many fabulous results with biofield tuning. And I've only been doing it as a practitioner since March of this year.
Oh dear.
And it's been amazing
Wow.
the results that I am getting. I am getting physical change in people's acute physical issues and injuries or chronic long-term health issues, helping people with stress and overwhelm or being stuck. So many different things.
That's very
So
interesting, and that was my question actually. If you would tell us a little bit more about the various topics that you might work with, because there are different types of areas. It doesn't necessarily have to be a physical condition, right? Although, this might help also in that way with healing, physical healing, but there's emotional issues or also achieving goals, right? And changing behaviors that impact our success. As today's topic, our success in life. Tell us a bit more about this experience.
Well, so let me tell you a little bit of my own story first, which is a perfect example of what we're talking about. So I'm a perfectionist, right? Very particular about how things done, and I can make myself paralyzed. This is actually part of my human design, by the way. I can get myself completely stuck and out of activity because of all of the thinking and obsessing. And with Biofield Tuning, I can do a short session that helps me to get into doing the project that I need to do, which in most cases often involved with writing. And I can go from completely paralyzed and stuck to excited and doing what I need to do, which has made a huge difference in my ability to, promote myself as a business person and to make things happen and to do things that are kind of outside of my comfort zone. So it's like Biofield Tuning is how I get myself unstuck, basically. I have had people that I've worked with, so it's like at the beginning of the whole COVID pandemic shutdown thing, I had some people who were so overwhelmed and stressed by dealing with life in general, they were almost not functional, not able to effectively live their daily lives, even not being able to sleep, not being able to go anywhere, just people who are really stuck. And when I did the first Biofield tuning session with them, got them actually calmed down and back to being able to function normally by helping them just release that load of stress and overwhelm. So that's a pretty powerful thing, to be able to take someone who is so stuck for whatever reason and help them be able to move past that. Another area where that shows up is trauma. Some people have just a massive history of trauma that keeps them pretty stuck sometimes, and being able to help people get out of the grip of that old trauma and able to move forward. Pretty incredible.
Yes, it's very powerful, and it's those daily actions that move us to that place that we want to get to enable us to create our lives. This is every little step we can take moving forward contributes to that success that we're looking for and that fulfillment and happiness. So that's wonderful. And you mentioned the human design already, and I found that very helpful as well, because sometimes it's not like a trauma exactly, but it's more like a personality characteristic that we're dealing with, that we have to balance or find a way around. And when you've looked at my design, it's been such a relief to go, oh, all right, okay, so there it is. I don't have to fight myself. I can allow myself to have a certain trait or a tendency, and to find a way to work with it. Tell us a little bit more about how you combine the human design with this energetic work.
Well, so let me take one of those people who I mentioned who was kind of overwhelmed, right? So she was overwhelmed, stressed, barely functioning. We did Biofield tuning and she was calm and centered. This is somebody who I'd done human design before with, so she knew the value of the human design. So what we did next was a human design reading. And human design helps you take the things that happen in your life over and over again that are confusing to you or don't make sense. Why do I attract this? Why does this happen to me all the time? When you see that this is part of your design to have those experiences, it just makes sense of so many things. When I learned, I was like, oh, this thing that I don't really like happens to me, but this is what I'm here to learn. And how can I turn this thing that happens from something that bothers me or I don't like, how can I turn that into a gift? It's a massive understanding that is available for people when they realize that the thing that has bothered them their whole life sometimes, or that doesn't make, why do I do this? Oh, this is my contribution. So I take something that is challenging and I turn it over. You know, you've all heard that every cloud has a silver lining. So it's like, if I can flip from being stuck in this experience to, oh, let's look at it a different way and see that this is an opportunity for me to contribute. It changes everything, right? So it takes something that I judge myself about and I become peaceful about it. And I learn how to manage it, how to work with it with my intention, with my awareness. What am I learning here? Okay, so how can I turn this around? It's completely changed how I live my life. And so that's one of the real values of human design. And then if I follow that up then with another biofield tuning session, right? Then I take this realization that the person has had, totally reframing for them their experience of their life, and then get them in alignment with their purpose. Very powerful combination.
Very powerful. This is really great, isn't it? To understand one's uniqueness is very powerful, and to be peaceful with it and intelligent with it, and free with it. Ultimately, it's a vehicle, isn't it, for us to channel our creativity and, as you said, to contribute to the world. So I'm very excited about today's special session. This is a wonderful gift and opportunity for everyone who's watching to really get powerfully aligned with success. You know, we talked a little bit about this, but why don't you share what are the main areas that we're going to be looking at today in this session?
In the mini session we're
The
going to do?
session we're doing, yes.
Yeah. Well, you and I talked about what might be of service to your community. And what came up is that, you know, I might have a sense of what my purpose is and how I'm contributing, but fear and fear of success can get in my way. Just like I was talking about a minute ago, right? I get completely paralyzed by the head conversation. And that's really all fear limiting me. And so it's like, when I can get in alignment, oh, this is what I'm doing, this is my purpose, this is what this project I am doing is going to contribute. Okay, I can match up with that. I can be grounded and connected and centered in that purpose, that contribution, the reason why I'm doing this in the first place. And so, like I said, when I do the tuning on myself, it pops me out of that paralyzed, stuck place, that fear place, and into action.
Yes.
And
So
to be able
powerful.
to be able to trust myself, right? And trust, oh, I am living my purpose.
Yes, this grounding, the trust, and the alignment is the foundation, really, isn't it? And then we start to experience the momentum. So it's not so effortful, or you know, something that creates so much resistance in us. It just starts to carry us forward. That's been my experience, at least. So, all right. Well, I'm really ready to get started with this. Do we need to prepare in any way when we are receiving biofield tuning?
You just want to be comfortable for any biofield tuning. For the purposes of what we're going to do now, think about something that you want to accomplish. I call these projects. So it's like, think about something you want to accomplish, maybe something where you've been kind of stuck or in fear or doubting yourself, doubting your ability. So it's like, have that in mind, because that's what you are going to work with on your end, right? While we do the tuning.
All right, I'm just going to switch to speaker view, and I'll center myself. And okay, here we go.
Okay, so breathe and make yourself comfortable. You can close your eyes or leave them open. up to you. And think about your project, what you want to accomplish. And think about whatever may have been stopping you or making you feel stuck or doubting. Going to connect you to the Earth Star point, the point below your feet that connects you to the Earth. Draw Earth energy up from the Earth Star point into your feet and through your body and out the top of your head. Feel the support coming to you from the earth. Supportive earth energy for everything you want to accomplish. The earth is always here, providing this support. The earth is stable, continuous, reliable. And the support that it has for you and what you want to accomplish is always here. So allowing yourself to draw that up from the earth, through your body and out the top of your head. I'm going to take the Earth Star point and drop it down and connect it to the earth and draw even more of that supportive earth energy through the Earth Star, through your body and out the top of your head. There is a point called the Sun Star that's above your head. This Sun Star connects you to the sun, to God, to your guides, to angels, to whatever beneficial support and energy are out there for you. Connecting to the Sun Star. Drawing supportive sun energy from the Sun Star into the top of your head, through your body, and connecting you to the earth. Connecting the sun in our solar system to the Sun Star and bringing that supportive, nourishing sun energy through your body to the earth. Now I'm going to connect us to the great central sun in the center of the galaxy. Now this is the inspiration and the God connection, the angels, the guides, all of these supportive energies come to us from out in the universe through this connection that we have to the stars. So bringing in the energy from the great central sun in the center of the galaxy and drawing on all the gifts and inspirations available to you from the universe. Bring to mind your purpose, why you are here, and how you are contributing through your purpose with the project that you are here to take action on. And feel how you're supported by the earth, supported by the God, by the guides, by the angels, by the universe, the wisdom and guidance and inspiration coming to you. Feel the connection of all those things to your purpose and what you are here to do. Being supported by all the wisdom and forces that are available from the earth and from the sun and God and guides. Allowing your heart energy to shine, your purpose to shine through the action you have to take. Knowing and trusting that you will be guided and led in the right directions. Fulfilling your purpose as a contributor to the purpose for the world and the universe. Breathe. Now I'm going to take a different tuning fork and do something called figure eights that brings all of your energy together. Connecting your will to divine will. And then surrounding you with the cocoon rainbow of light. As you feel ready, come back to current time.
Okay. Oh gosh. I always go into such a deep trance with this work. It's extraordinary. Like my voice is super low now.
Now we're supposed to talk and have a conversation.
I was supposed to, yeah. Oh my God. And it doesn't take long. How long was this? But still, it's so deep.
A couple of minutes.
Yeah. So deep.
And in some of the interviews and sessions that I do only a couple of minutes. This one was significantly longer than some of them, but
Right.
people notice significant changes just with like 2 minutes. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It becomes this timeless space, right? It's wow. I'm
Well, and
pulling myself out, to be honest. Yeah.
yeah,
I can't do a
well,
conversation, but hey.
you and your people already know the power and the value of sound. And I have been learning recently that sound is really the beginning. You know, this is like first there was the word, and from the word came the light, right? So it's like sound is working from the very, very basis. And thinking about so many of the energetic healing modalities that I mentioned, I just did not feel like did anything. A lot of why I think they don't work, or they didn't work for me, and I can't say they don't work for anybody, is that they're working with thought and with light. But thought and light are superseded by sound. So by accessing the sound, plus working with thought and light at the same time, it's like it's even more foundational and powerful because of the sound.
Fascinating. Oh my goodness.
Now, something else about biofield tuning specifically, right?
Yes.
Biofield tuning works with the biofield or the energy field or the aura. And something I didn't know before starting to do biofield tuning is it's actively working with inherited material that's stored in the energy field. Incredibly powerful, because often I'm working with people on things that they don't realize are inherited. And so they're thinking it's all relating to the things that they do and the traumas that they're experiencing now. They don't necessarily relate it to things that happened in my childhood or things that happened to my parents or my grandparents. You know, so it's like, And all of that is worked with in biofield tuning.
Yes, I would agree with that. And in my experience also with energy work, I see the being as a hologram really that contains all
Mhm.
that information in it. And so all of those old programs and stories are activated without us realizing this is actually going on. We think it's us and we try to see the consequences in the events that we are aware of, but there's so much in the background. um, that is often very hard to access because it is so obscured, by time and in
Yeah,
the depths of history. But accessing with sound is one very good way of touching on all those areas that otherwise we might never become conscious of, and actually doesn't really matter necessarily that we know exactly everything if it is re-listened. Yeah, we can be back in flow in the present moment, right?
yeah. So I have found that part of the power is also in making connections in people's minds. It's like, this is what's going on for me now. It's a symptom or a situation or a stuckness. And then we pull in all of the pieces. Part of this was inherited, part of this was from your childhood, part of this was that trauma that you had in your life, and pulling all of those into the person's awareness so that they can have all those pieces, put all the puzzle together,
Mhm.
and then consciously now make a choice.
Mm.
So it's
Yes.
like bringing awareness to how all of these things are connected to each other.
Mm.
And so it's like thinking about what creates the fear of success for people in their current situations and the things they want to do now. It's all of this stuff that's unconscious. And so it's like bringing it to consciousness. It's like, oh, do I want to continue to believe that? Do I want to continue to act based on that? I was like, no. And so I am empowered to be able to make a choice when something comes up, how to shift my action, shift my thought about that. It's like you've seen that yourself, and I've seen that through my work with you. So it's like it makes so much difference.
It does. It's working on the two levels, on the consciousness aspects and on the energetic aspect, and unwinding in both those ways. Um,
Yeah.
so let's talk a little bit about opportunities to experience this in more depth. You're running these programs of group sessions, and I've been to one of those. I've been on one of those, and I found it really powerful. Everybody could set their intentions, and collectively you would work on them. And as you're working, you are um, just like you explained, you're pulling different threads, lines of historical bits and pieces, experiences, and it's a combination of the sound and this bringing to consciousness that is happening. And tell us, what else do we need to know about these sessions?
So creating the future is what I call it.
Mm.
And there's 3 sessions of biofield tuning group sessions.
Mm.
And like you mentioned, each person gets to take their personal issues, blocks. If you know about your human design, things about your human design where you get stuck, and your intentions, and make a list of them. And then send them to me, and I put them all together, and I draw from that collective list for whatever the theme is that we're working on in that particular session. So the themes I work on are determined by what everybody's issues are. And then we work on it actively for everyone in the group. And this is pretty unusual. So most group sessions, at least in biofield tuning, are pretty general. People don't get to contribute their personal content and issues and intentions. And I have been finding that that just makes it incredibly more deep and effective for individuals because we are working in the group setting. So it's like, the power of being in a course with lots of people and how it adds to the effectiveness for everyone. That happens in these groups.
Yes.
Plus, we also wind up working on universal aspects of these things. So, you know, humanity in general tends to have the same sets of fears and blocks and traumas and stuck places. And so working on those at the same time as doing the individual work, I think just helps us to shift it.
Yes. All right. So there's a new presentation coming up, and you start new presentations of this program frequently, don't you? Every
Yeah,
fairly frequently.
when there's enough demand. Yeah.
Okay, great. And it's a closed group each time, isn't it? So people sign up for
Mhm.
one presentation, then that's one entity that works together. So I find that works really well. You know, my experience was definitely very positive, and it felt like a lot was accomplished in a short time and in a powerful way. So there was a real sense of completion by the end of it for me, certainly. It felt like, okay, this was an important piece of work that was done, and there was a
Good.
satisfaction to it as well. Yeah. Now,
They get recorded, which is nice. They
yes, of
get
course.
recorded.
Yeah.
So if people can't participate live, then they can listen to the recording, and you can listen to the recording as many times as you want and get healing each time,
Mm.
which is lovely.
That's the beauty of timelessness. It's the quantum
Internet.
age. It's the quantum age. All right. Now, there's also the possibility if somebody wants to sign up and also add on a human design reading, then they can do that. And what do they get with this?
Human design readings are individual, so it's like one-on-one. And if someone wants to do a human design reading before starting the Biofield Tuning series, then understanding from their reading, they can incorporate that into what they work on for the series. So for human design, we run a chart for you, and then we set up, ideally, a Zoom call, and we go over it. I record it, so you get to listen to it again. I've had people listen to their recordings years later. I was like, oh, all those things you said, they happened.
Wow, it's wonderful. Right. So if you're watching, go for it. Sign up for Creating the Future. You're already geared up to go for your success, so I highly recommend you do. Um, there's also the possibility of having an extra human design reading on top of that program. And you'll see on Sandra's website, there's also a free report that you can ask for. And this is sent by email, right? Enter the details and
Yes.
then receive that.
Now, should I tell you about what comes with the special report?
Yeah, please.
There is remember I talked about when I get stuck
Yes.
and I do biofield tuning for myself?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Okay, so the project alignment and support mini tuning
mm-hmm.
that comes with the special report, that's what I listen to when I get stuck.
Okay.
2 minutes and 22 seconds, and I am like out of being stuck. It is awesome. So that's with the free report.
All right, so lots of possibilities. There's the free report, there's the 3-course program, and then also having a one-to-one human design reading, so that one can have as complete an experience as one wants, go as deeply as they want into this wonderful work. Thank you so much, Sandra. Do you have a final message for us after this, work that we did and everything you explained? What would you leave us with?
Breathe and trust that you are here making a contribution to the world, and just allowing yourself to be supported in doing that, living your truth.
Absolutely. So important in this day and age. Thank you once again, Sandra. It's been an absolute delight having you today, and look forward to connecting again soon.